All right, now let's get some more analysis on this and speak to Hasan Unal, who is the head of political science and international relations department at Maltepe University and joins me now live from Ankara. Thanks so much for joining us on TRT World. Now, this is a very important step for Turkey's national security. How will it influence Ankara's relations with Washington now?
I suppose much would depend on the outcome that this joint patrols are going to produce. If it comes to almost nothing, like it did, for instance, in the case of Manbij last year, and the United States begin to use these efforts basically to buy time and to continue to train and equip the YPG terrorists in the area, then I would say that the whole thing would crumble, because Turkey has made it quite clear that it's prepared to defend its own national interests, and we are talking about very important security matters. Mm-hmm. It is not a joke, so Turkey has made it clear. But on the other hand, we have to also take into account the fact that the U.S. Joint Chiefs of Staff has just made a statement, very, very annoying statement, I'm sure, to the Turkish authorities, that the United States is being training and equipping some 60,000 YPG terrorists under the umbrella of the Syrian Democratic Forces and all that. So, in other words, there is a lot of explosive element that would basically scuttle the whole thing, or alternatively, I would say much less probably, things might go smoothly, by which then these joint patrols basically would lead to the establishment of some sort of peace corridor as Turkey seeks. But then the problem will come up. What is going to be the official status of the YPG within a future Syria?
Okay, you raise a lot of important points there, and
right.
This has just happened in the past few hours, so a lot needs to be answered. But while it is still early days in this joint operation, few hours, I want to ask you, how will this be viewed internationally?
Well, again, internationally, it's another problem. For instance, the United States doesn't seem to have a clear mandate to have troops presence in Syria. It used to be on the basis of the ISIS presence in the region. Supposedly, the United States was fighting the ISIS out of the country, Syria. But now it is disputable whether there is enough number of ISIS troops to basically legitimize the United States troop presence in Syria. And now Turkey is acting together with the United States, whose presence is disputable. And then the Turkish troops are entering Syria once again. From the Turkish point of view, Turkey could always say that it is basically entering Syrian territory in order to search for security and to cleanse the area of the YPG terrorists which are acting against Turkey. So it is quite a complicated situation, and what the outcome is going to be like remains to be seen.
Mm-hmm. It's a complicated situation, and it's a situation that concerns the refugee crisis for the EU and also, well, globally, the EU and also Turkey. Talk to me about how important this is.
Well, it's one of the major problems, actually. Now, Turkey is hosting about 4 million Syrian refugees, and Turkey expects to resettle about 1 million of them into these newly controlled territories that will come under Turkish control one way or the other, as Turkey expects, as part of this joint patrol and joint operations with the United States. But then the problem is there is going to be another dispute, whether these people were originally from those territories. If not, then others will say, well, are you basically resettling these people in those areas against their wishes? as the as the European Union recently made a statement about that, so these people could not be resettled back into Syria without their against their wishes. So that's going to be another thorny problem. I would say that much would be done, and much more easily would be done if Turkey basically comes to an agreement with the Syrian government in Damascus.
All right, Hasan Unal, thank you very much indeed. Really appreciate all those points that you've raised there. Very interesting. Thank you. All right, let's take